Hey guys, what's going on? It's bright and early on a Friday morning. It's Good Friday. We got the day off. Headed off on one of my crazy adventures. Got the trailer. Wonder what that could mean. Got the old square body here. Kind of cold. Getting it warmed up. But yeah, I'm headed off to somewhere in Oklahoma. So I'm gonna take you guys along. Hopefully this old truck makes it. I think it's about 300 miles there, 300 miles back. So see what happens. All right, we are off. I've got a bunch of tools and stuff just in case. Hopefully this old truck will make it. I know I'm going to be using a lot of gas. That's really my only concern. Not really a huge concern, but I don't really care about that. I just want the thing to make it. So let's see what happens. All right, I stopped here and I met my brother over here. He's gonna help out today. So first thing we gotta do is go get some gas, and we're probably gonna be doing that a lot today. So let's get going. It's about 5 o'clock, I think. Slightly better gas in it, like 80, 89 in here. It's definitely it's got a little more power to it. This little 5.3 needs all the help it can get, and it's got a ton of miles on it, so it really doesn't make a whole lot of power anymore, but it's running real good. And we're getting to the flat part here. We're getting out of the mountains, and we're getting into the flat level parts of western Arkansas, and eventually we'll get into Oklahoma, probably in another hour. So far so good. Oklahoma somewhere. Got another fill up here. Some more 89 octane. It seems to run a little better on that slightly better stuff. I think we got about 2 hours left, so everything's going pretty good. So I'm gonna keep on rolling. All right, we're on I-44 driving through Tulsa. Traffic's pretty light, so that's nice. Yeah, everything's going good so far. We got about an hour and a half left to go, so everything's going good. All right, we just got our toll paid. Oklahoma's got a really weird toll system and still use cash and everything. But I was getting nervous because I'm down a quarter tank of gas and there was no gas stations for like 50, 60 miles. So I'm really glad I found a gas station here. And I can turn right on red, so I don't know why I'm sitting here. But here it is. We got our fill up 66. We got about 55 minutes left. But I really needed gas, so. Alright guys, we're having some problems. We're going down the highway and I think the rear brakes are stuck or something because the rear brakes are smoking, not on the trailer but on the truck. So we gotta figure out what's going on there. But the parking brake's on right now and it's holding the truck. And it's still holding the truck.
Yeah. Oh wait, yeah, let it go. Here, hold the camera.
Yeah,
let it go and see if I can push it. Release.
Yeah, it's released.
Oh yeah.
Well, now it's rolling, but it was stuck before. I think what's going on is my old rear brake hose is so old and it's the typical swelling situation when I have him hit the brake and let off of it, they get locked up. So I think that's what's going on here. So I need to figure out how to go about doing that. Maybe I can adjust the brakes way out so they're not actually working. I still have trailer brakes, so not the correct way to do it, but I'm just gonna go for it. So we're gonna try some things here and then get back on the road. Should be released right now, so I'm gonna get under there with some vice grip. Pinch it off. I hope that works. If I can figure out how they work.
Yeah, they're really stupid design.
Man, that brake line is rock hard. I definitely should have replaced that a long time ago. I should have just looked and saw if they had one of these brake lines. But that would have been a lengthy project.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh man. I think that's pinched off, but I feel like it should be tighter than that. I don't want to lose my $44 vice grips here. Oh, that's gonna break it. I don't want to like rupture it.
Yeah, exactly. Because then we'll lose them.
I don't know if this is even gonna work. Alright. That might work.
We could just leave them on there.
It might work or it might make it worse. I don't know.
I don't know.
If the brake fluid's still going through there, it's gonna make it worse.
Yeah.
Alright. Alright guys, well we pinched off the brake line with the vice grip and I think it fixed it. I thought it might make it worse, but it's the truck's not, the brakes aren't locking up in the back anymore, so I'm kind of taking some 2-lane here and just kind of seeing how it does. And I might take this road back too because I'll have a lot more weight on there. And as long as my vice grip doesn't fall off, I think we're good for now. The truck is running really, really good. And we should be there in about 50 minutes. So that's cool. Next there, this out. Not bad it stops, but stay on the back road, I don't know. Definitely gotta keep a good following distance here. Not get too close to behind me. I mean, it stops, it's just could be a lot better. That's the thing. Alright guys, we are trying to get out of Oklahoma City here. We got the car. We didn't do much video at the place. It was quite the hassle trying to get it on the trailer, but I will show you guys everything at some point. A little bit sketchy. That's about maxing out that trailer, and we don't have rear brakes on the truck. But at least I got trailer brakes, so that's good. It's gonna be a long ride. We got 5 hours. Well, actually more than that because we're taking back roads, so it's gonna be a long ride. got about 3 hours left. Just gassed up again for the 100th time. And we're gonna head on out, hopefully get some miles down. We got 176 miles to go. Just check the straps. I think we're all set. So I think I'm gonna stick it on the highway, try to get some more miles down a little faster. Try to make best use of this daylight. I don't like driving in the dark, but I'm gonna have to. So, all right, let's go. minimum speed is 60 and the maximum speed is 80. So I'm just barely doing the minimum speed. I'm going like 63, trying to keep it at 63, but when I go up these hills, it's pulling down to 60 or 55. Having a hard time pulling these hills, so if I see a cop, I'm just gonna step on it so I don't get pulled over for impeding traffic. What a weird problem to have, having to speed up when you see a cop. Alright, we're rolling the night shift now. We got about an hour and 15 minutes left. The truck's doing good. Getting about a consistent 10 miles per gallon. And everything's going pretty good. Hopefully we make it back. Alright guys, I made it back home after a very stressful 310 miles of driving this sketchy contraption home. Mostly because the rear brakes on the truck are kind of pinched off with some vice grips, so thankfully I had the trailer brakes to kind of act as a rear brake, but still quite a bit of weight. But it made it. Mostly 2-lane roads, pretty slow pace, like 50-55 miles an hour. It took like 9 hours to get home, so but the important thing is it made it. I just picked up a new brake line this morning for the truck, and it was like 20 bucks, $21.99. So only thing that failed is a $20 part. Not bad. 600 miles, and we got the 1970 Cadillac Fleetwood 60 home, which is pretty cool. So I'll give you guys a good look at this car. I did not film much when I picked it up. It was kind of a very small, crowded little neighborhood, and had to get the trailer maneuvered in there, and we kind of had a hard time getting it on the trailer. It wasn't too bad, but I had to kind of winch it on there with a come along, and the car's super heavy, so it was kind of hard to get it up on the dovetail. But once it was up there, it wasn't too bad. Had a few guys helping, but I'll show you the bad side first. This side had been sideswiped at some point. Still really not that bad. There's a dent here that I think I can push out pretty easily. I can get up in there. It's missing the F. This is really the worst of the rust right here. There's probably some more under this chrome panel, which I won't be taking off unless I really needed to. There's a bit of a dent all the way along the side here. You can see where the paint's missing, but it's really not too bad. Pretty straight car overall. I think this paint will shine up pretty good. Same color that my 68 was. For you people that have been watching a long time, I had a 68 Fleetwood. It was the 75 model though, a little bit more leg room in it. It had little pop-up seats, but this car looks way better. It's a lot more proportional. It's got a longer trunk, so it looks better. But this is my absolute favorite front end on a Cadillac. This is kind of a dream car of mine. When I bought that 68, I really wanted a 70, but the 68 was what came first and cheap, so this is my favorite front end though. So this is kind of a bucket list car for me, and I prefer the 4 doors. It's easier for passengers, and on a Cadillac, the 4 doors just looks right. The top, I'm not sure what's going on here. It's not vinyl. I'm pretty sure somebody put bed liner on it or something. Kind of like it. I do believe this is the original paint. I was trying to look for signs of a repaint, but I could totally be wrong about that. I haven't looked at the car super well yet. But the interior is, you know, a 5 out of 10. It's missing the headliner, which is no big deal because I'm probably going to want to put some speakers back in here. And the seats are, you can see they're kind of split. Kind of have all that weird cracking going on, but they're not torn on the edges. Needs a really good deep cleaning. Probably going to do a steam clean in here. Carpet's all there though. Now what's funny about this car that I noticed is the dash is really pretty boring for a Cadillac. It looks like a square body dash. Not a whole lot going on here compared to the 60s, the early 60s Cadillacs. Even the 68 that I had looked a little better. But that just comes along with the car. It's got these ugly headrests that pop up. Figure out how that works. Seat's not too bad overall. It's got this 8-track player in here. An 8-track tape packaging. So this car is not running at the moment, but somebody has done a lot of work to it. And you'll see that as I show you this car. It was running and it currently doesn't have spark. Another problem on this side from getting sideswiped or whatever happened to it is it's missing the mirror. It's got tires that are like a year old on it. Or at least that's what the previous owner said, and I believe it because you can see the sticker there. I think Walmart puts those stickers on when they do the tires. Inside of the trunk, you can see kind of how the paint would have looked originally, and I really think if I get to buffing on this paint, I think it'll come around. I'm excited about the paint because I don't have any cars with decent paint on it, and this isn't super awesome paint, but it doesn't have heat damage from the hot summers and stuff. But trunk's in really good shape. Trunk lid. It's got one of my favorite things about these old Cadillacs right there. Missing a couple little things like these little reflectors that go on the side, both sides. Got cool reverse lights. It's got a trailer hitch, which is pretty cool. Underneath, you can see it's got new air shocks on it that somebody put on. Frame looks solid. Floors look pretty good. Long drive shaft. I haven't got to looking under here too much, but from what I can see, it's a really solid car. And there's a lot of parts that people have thrown at it. It's got a shop manual. I mean, there's a lot of goodies in the trunk. This is probably $100 right here, easily. And then it's got a Fisher body manual too, with the correct years on all these. It's got some cool artifacts over here. Owner's manual. It's got another kind of like an introduction pamphlet here. Cool stuff. Phillips 66. This is like a warranty information of some kind that somebody had bought in 1972. The car was just a couple years old. $25. And List Oldsmobile Cadillac, South Osage. I'm not sure. It doesn't say the state. I know there's an Osage in Arkansas, but I don't think it'd be that. Could be though. I believe this car was in Oklahoma most of its life, but maybe it hasn't. But I'm sure there's probably Osage, however you say that, in other states as well. That's kind of a cool little thing. Well, this guy lived in, what does that say? Bartleville, Oklahoma. I guess that's Oklahoma. I don't really know what that's supposed to be. We're supposed to say. And we got a little owner's information thing here, and we got some Oklahoma inspection slips from the late 90s. This one's from 99. We got another one here from 96, along with some other stuff. I believe this is the build sheet right here, which is kind of cool. Somebody probably found this when they were working on the car. I think they usually put these under the seats or something. I'm not really sure, but this has some cool information on it. I really love this kind of stuff, like the literature that just stays with the car. It's pretty cool. It's pretty fascinating. I really like history, so maybe I can decode some of those numbers, but it's pretty self-explanatory. There's another owner's manual. Looks like we got the jack in here. We got a really, really old spare tire, probably the original tire there. It's like hard as a rock. We got the hubcaps. I was really excited about this. That's cool. All four of them are here. Gotta have hubcaps on a Cadillac. But overall, looks pretty good. I have not pulled up this this floor mat yet to see how the trunk pan looks. Lots of room back here. It looks like all there is a motor for the heater back here, which is pretty interesting. Don't know how that all works. My other car, my 68 Fleetwood that I had 6-7 years ago. Let's see, actually about 8 years ago when I bought it, but sold it about 6 months later. Anyway, that thing had a gigantic AC unit in the back. That was pretty crazy. But ripped that thing out. It looks like there has been some wiring work done, or at least tried to be done in here, because the wiring is an absolute nightmare in a lot of the areas that I've seen, but that's okay. This is the good side. It's got the mirror on it. It's got the Fleetwood and everything. It's a good looking car. Maybe someday I'll get it more low, but I don't know. It sits pretty good the way it is. So there's some other parts that you can tell people throw at it over the years. Got a starter solenoid, some seatbelt parts, and some kind of Pertronix ignition thing in there. And what is this? It's like some kind of tool set or something. But it's got some interior parts in here I might put back on. I was really hoping the other footrest was in here, but I don't think it is. There's the visor, sun visor. Yeah, so it is missing one of the footrests. There's that one. This one's missing, but that's not a big deal. It's got a box full of parts in here as well. There's the old shocks. And, oh, the AC pump is in there. Wow. I haven't really looked at all this too good yet, but there's some stuff in there. It's got some spare plug wires. What is this? Music controller. Oh, is that an 8-track tape? Oh, what is this? I've never actually held an 8-track before. Dixieland. Wait. Dixie. The Dukes of Dixieland. The Dukes of Dixieland. I've never even heard of that, and I listen to old music a lot. I've never heard of this band. That's cool. Flying right there. What else do we got in here? Any other goodies? LED light strip. What is this thing? Oh, some kind of Cadillac contraption. What is this? Some kind of diagram of some kind. Brake pad. Oh, we got more 8-tracks. Ooh, man, we got... Okay, I think that's all. I have never seen these things in person, which is weird, but what do we got here? Ford Motor Company. What? Why do I need Ford Motor Company 8-track in a Cadillac? So Chicago Symphony Orchestra. Look at this. 1977 Cadillac. Well, that's kind of cool. Not the right year, but interesting. That's kind of neat. Getting sidetracked, of course. Yeah, you can see this side. Seat's pretty decent. Needs a deep cleaning. Just pulled this out of here. I always pull these out because I don't want the car to burn to the ground. But I don't think the battery's hooked up. You can see the cap inside here. It's funny, I was looking at this earlier. It's got this cheap, like, fiberglass little fill panel here. Very strange for a Cadillac to have something like that. But really, I think this is kind of the last year of the good Cadillacs. This is the last year the 472 was good. And then in 71 they started dropping the compression. And it was embarrassing. 500 cubic inch engine making like 150 horsepower. And this thing from the factory made like 395 horsepower and 510 foot-pounds of torque. Crazy. Torque monster. But yeah, seat's not too bad. The only thing I don't like about these old Cadillacs is all the power stuff. The old electronic power stuff that came standard on these cars, because it never works right. So that's something I'm not looking forward to, is these windows probably don't work. These are always cool. It's got so much stuff. I mean, this is a 1970 and it's got all this stuff on it, which is kind of interesting. Wiper controls here, wash, cruise control, climate control. It's pretty cool. The radio's over there. This is broken, but it should be easy to find one of those. But I mean, look at that dash. It really, it's odd to me. It's kind of really simple looking. It almost looks like it's, I mean, they're definitely ahead of their time. I mean, this looks like it's straight out of some kind of like 80s car or something. But I guess it's not too far off from the 80s. It's only 10 years away from the start of the 80s, but still, 10 years makes a big difference in the automotive world if you look at the 1900s and cars. But there's the 8-track player over there. I think I already showed that. Yeah, I did, yes. But yeah, I'm going to get rid of all that wiring. Probably put a good radio in it at some point. My plan for this car, which is something I should probably talk about, is get it running, fix all the mechanicals, make it reliable, and drive it, pretty much. Polish the paint, kind of spruce it up a little bit, make it look as good as it can, and just drive it. Enjoy it. Hopefully the engine and transmission are good, which I think they are. They should be all right. Under here, it looks like it's got some kind of spring spacer. That's interesting. Huh. Well, I'll take those out for sure. I want this thing to sit lower, not higher. Wonder why they would do that. Looks like a lot of new fuel line and a fuel pump that's in a really bad spot. Huh. That should be near the tank, not right there. You can tell it hasn't run in a while with how that fuel looks, the gasoline. But everything looks really good. Solid frame. It's got new shocks. And the awesome part about this car is it's the second year of the disc brakes in the front. Don't have to do any kind of disc brake conversion. It's already got them. Oil pan looks good. The exhaust system is all there. Usually I gotta build an exhaust system. This has got new exhaust piping all the way down. Big old muffler. I do want this car to be kind of quiet because it's a Cadillac. It's supposed to cruise down the road comfortably, like driving your living room. Paint on the hood is pretty remarkable. Just really filthy. The hood weighs like 500 pounds. The springs can barely keep it up. It is really heavy, this hood. Of course, it's got all this in there, which is probably good, but I might take that out because it's just kind of sagging anyway. And then we got the 472. You know, you guys are kind of looking at this thing along with me, a lot of stuff for the first time. I haven't gotten a good look at the car. This car was such a good deal that I just looked at that clean title, looked at the car very briefly, and I was like, yeah, I'm taking it. So yeah, you're getting a good first look with me as well. It's got an Optima battery in it. I don't know how old that is, but it's got an Optima battery. These things are very expensive, and I think they're kind of overrated from what I've heard, but I've never had one, so I cannot make any comment on that really. And I don't see any date stamps. But you can see the battery is hooked up, so the battery might just be completely dead. I'm seeing some scary things that need to be addressed pretty quickly, like the melted wires right here that melted on there. You shorted out. That's fantastic. Really safe. Don't know why is this the, yeah, that's the ground. Don't know why that goes down there behind the fender. Very strange. Not sure what this doohickey is, or that doohickey right there. A lot of gizmos and gadgets, but this car is very much original. Everything's here except they did take the AC stuff out, which I would have done anyway. This old AC stuff is just so, it's not very good, especially this year of cars. In the 80s they got better, but 70s wasn't so good. If I was gonna put AC in this, which I would love to someday, it's probably gonna be some kind of vintage air system of some kind. But yeah, just look at the size of that engine. Huge. It's been a while since I had my other Cadillac. I forgot about the physical size of this thing. But it does have what looks to be a newly rebuilt quadrajet on it. It looks pretty fresh. So that's cool. Yeah, it does not have spark at the moment. You can see people have been throwing money at it. Whoever owned it, it's got a new coil on it. Looks like a new voltage regulator over there. Distributor and wires all look new. Don't really like how they routed the wiring job's not too bad, but yeah, it's got a new distributor on it, or not distributor cap rotor. I may just put a HEI on there and be done with it. I don't know. New water pump, obviously. I had to do a water pump on my my 68 that I had. It looks like one of the bolts are missing or snapped off right there. That's pretty typical. Might be alright. Looks like they used plenty of silicone around it. Looks like a new upper radiator hose. Bottom one looks kind of old. Maybe not. It's got a Wix filter on it. That's awesome. That's good to see. What else do we got here? Power steering, of course. Oh, that's an actual Holley fuel pressure regulator with a relay going down to the fuel pump, which is in a really bad location. It should be near the tank. They like to push, not pull. I may do away with that and figure out, oh yeah, they used the block off plate right there. I can see that where the fuel pump used to be. I'm not sure why they did that. Kind of unnecessary. I mean, I prefer the mechanical pumps myself, so I may have to go ahead and put that back to original. There's no reason it wouldn't work with a fresh mechanical fuel pump. You don't have to listen to that thing when you're going down the road and sitting at a light. With the exhaust how it is on this car, it's probably pretty quiet. You would be able to hear that thing. And then you gotta worry about it failing, and that looks like some cheap eBay fuel pump that would just fail randomly. But yeah, overall it looks pretty good under here. I don't think it would take a whole lot to get this thing running again. Pretty clean, really. Odometer shows like 72,000 miles, which might be accurate. Could be 170, but I don't know. Looks like it's got a newer booster on there and master. Still got the condenser on there, which, since I got no AC, I'm probably gonna pull that out of there. I don't know if I want to mess around with trying to get this AC working. It doesn't seem worth it, but I'll keep all the parts. Definitely need heat, but if I pull this out of here, I can get a lot more airflow in the summer, and these engines need all the cooling they can get. May even try to get a bigger radiator, like a big 4-core. That doesn't even look like a 3-core, but maybe it is. But got this weird light here. I don't know Not sure what that's for. I wonder if it's so maybe it lights up the hood latch so you know where it's at. I don't know. Huh. Sure would not want to slam my fingers in that hood. It's gonna look good with those hubcaps on there. I'll probably paint the wheels first, throw some fresh black paint on there just so the edge of it looks good. But yeah, this is it. Exciting. None of the windows are broken. I think I'm gonna do a tint job on it and do 25% tint all the way around, which is legal tint. That'll look good, real good. I'm excited to dig into this thing and start working on it and get it running. It really, a lot of stuff on it's already done. Exhaust system's all good all the way back. So, y'all stay tuned. I'm just very thankful I made it home. That was a wild trip. Sure was. But you will definitely see more on this car. So, stay tuned. Thanks for following along, guys. See you in the next one.